Hello and welcome to a little video I'm going to do on how I've recently learnt how to clean and make a fretboard a lot nicer and also give your frets a little bit of a polish at the same time. So let's jump right into it. So to polish your frets you're best off using something like this. My wife was kind enough to buy this for me from Amazon. I think it had next day free delivery and was something around £5. And it's nothing particularly specialist, but what it has in it has two of these which are pretty simple to see. They are guides for your frets to sit in, and what that's going to do is it's just going to stop the fret, the actual wood, from getting damaged when you take some of this. So we'll start off with a slightly heavier one. And just I'm only going to do one like this just to show you a quick example, but you just take the one, you don't want to go at it hell for leather, you just want to sort of key it up, give it a good going over like that, and then go through the gradients. So from there we go to a slightly thicker, slightly thinner one, taking care not to touch the fretboard like I just did, and building our way up. So there's the here, and the idea is that the finer the grit gets, the less kind of dull the finish will get with it. It will kind of really start to buff, and then what we do in a moment is what I was going to show you for the actual fretboard. But as you can see, going through those, get a cloth there, going through those has really brought that up lovely. See if I can get that in front of the camera for you. So you see how dull the second one is. That's that first one's come up beautiful. So really simple little process for doing that, and yeah, I recommend getting one of those kits for sure. So to get the fretboard all nice, this one's a bit dry and bit of muck on it, as you can see. Get some screw fix are your friend for this one. Get some of this. This is Liberon steel wool ultrafine. It's 40, so 0000. This stuff is made in Kent in the UK, so by British. This is from Screwfix. I think it's about £10 for that, and one of these will last you a long time. You can just rip it off like this, nice and simple. Then we're gonna throw our stuff everywhere. Then we're gonna get a Dunlop 65 fretboard cleaner. This is just lemon oil basically. One of these will last you a lifetime, unless you're a guitar tech, in which case you won't be watching this video anyway. And we're just going to quite simply get some of this and some of this, and can you guess what we're going to do next? We are going to put that there, check that the volume's all good still. Yeah, fine, I hope. And we're just gonna, it's got one of those on it, so I just like to kind of pop it on a nice fresh bit and just kind of dab it and give it a bit of a sort of firm squeeze at the same time. I don't want to absolutely drench it in it, but I do want to be able to feel that that is moist. So you can see, yeah, look, the camera's all over the place. I'm sorry, I don't know where to look. Right, so then you take this, the very important part, don't rub it back and forth, go up and down with the grain. Okay, I'm just going to take my face off there so I stop looking up. So go back and forth with the grain, and just what you'll find that will do as well is that because it's wire wool, you'll also give your frets a bit of a buff and a polish. So if you have just followed the steps with taking your fret polisher, fresh polishing kit, sandpaper, whatnot, and done all up and down the frets, you do get two sides of that, because as you get up the neck, obviously the frets get a bit smaller, so you get a thinner one, so you're able to get in those gaps there. So yeah, that's that covered. Very comprehensive learning material this. Right, so now we're going to get our wire wool. We're going to put another dab of that on. Like I say, I don't want it drenched, but I want to see it on the fretboard. Blooper. Don't do that, because that's daft. I'm even going to leave that in because it was funny. See, comfortably dumb, that's what it's all about. So it is drenched, but you know what, it's going to come up lovely. Right, so get your wire wool, get your cloth that you're going to clean up your wire wool with, and just give yourself a little rub down. Sort of tuck your tail between your legs. Realise that YouTube and instructional videos was never ever going to be your forte, and just thank God that you had the sense to call the channel Comfortably Dumb. Right, okay, so oh dear, it's all good fun. So back and forth, up and down the fretboard, and because you're going back and forth, and this is really fine stuff, so it doesn't really take a right lot off it. This is the same stuff I used to go up and down the back of my necks on the polished strats, because it just does a really good job of sort of taking that poly sort of nastiness off of it and giving you a nicer sort of feeling finish, but it doesn't really damage it in much of a way at all. It just literally lifts the surface up. So as you can see on there, because like I say, you don't want to drench it, but you know, shit happens, so we've got to go with it. So get a cloth. I always use these Dunlops, sort of, they're kind of like suede ones. They're really good for mopping up after a spillage with the lemon oil. What a muppet. I didn't do anything worse than say muppet there. Right, so there we go. Give it a little dab up. Take it off of there. Give the body a bit of a shine up with it as well. But mistakes aside, you can kind of see, hopefully, that the frets have polished up and buffed up a bit, as well as, well, it was pretty obvious the board was going to end up drinking some of that, wasn't it? But you can see that that's coming up quite nicely. With a really dirty one, which was like my Strat was, I'd done it a couple of times and the actual board ended up coming out lovely. But once you've done that, you can see that sort of hilarity and spillages aside, it actually comes up rather lovely. So yeah, so there is a hopefully fairly entertaining and fun video on how to not clean your fretboard, but how to clean your fretboard. Thanks, bye.